Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Tyler here. Welcome to Let's Talk Gaming, which is a show that I'm finally getting my shit together and making. It's super fun to be able to talk to you guys about video games, receive some feedback, and just have some discussion down in the comments below. If you don't like watching these videos, some of these videos can even be turned into podcasts over on the Spotify page, which I will link down below. And if you really want to find it easier, you can always find it right in the channel links area. So anyway, as we're going to talk today about Outlast as a game and why it is such a great game for you to play, I consider myself a bit of an expert on the subject of Outlast. I have played the game multiple times, beaten it several times, several different ways, at several times of speedrunning, kind of. I'm not the first in the world, nor am I even in a position to talk about speedrunning, so I'm only touching on that because of the fact that I can beat the game very quickly. I know the ins and outs of the game, I know the characters' dialogue lines, almost as if I was reciting a movie that I love very much. I like to talk to people about this game because it is the game that made me enjoy horror games the most. Now I could talk about games like Amnesia: The Dark Descent or even PT, but none of them have quite as simple a story as Outlast. Outlast takes place in a mental institution, or asylum, for those of you who want to use less big words. Basically, these inmates are your only company for the entirety of this game. You have, of course, Father Martin, who is your friend, kind of, and you have Chris Walker, who is your hand-holding buddy on your kindergarten rope to completion up until basically the end of the game. I am going to be spoiling a little bit of this game, so if you haven't for some reason played Outlast since its 2013 release, get off your ass and play the game. But also, feel free to click off of this video if you don't want any spoilers, or if you want to know everything, let's jump right in.
Every good game has its game environment, and the game environment itself is very important to the game feel as well as the immersion factor. Now, some of us look for every little microscopic detail in video game worlds, trying to find silly things such as water physics or are there invisible walls on this cliff, etc. My main point in mentioning this is that in horror games, when you're running from your most certain demise, you never really stop and take in all of the little things that Red Barrel added into this series.
And there's a lot of them.
Not only do they master the feeling of an eerie horror experience through lighting or the amazing soundtrack that plays throughout the game itself, but the atmosphere that this game shows the player does more than deliver. It immerses you to the point where you'd surely have a stroke if you played this game in VR. It's the timing of events such as jump scares or even stealth/hiding portions of the game. Outlast really makes you think on your feet, whereas you can hide in, under, or on virtually anything from lockers all the way to sliding under beds. Even going as far as sometimes allowing you to crawl through vents or barricade doors with metal crates full of construction tools to hold back the lingering threat of rabid inmates hot on your trail. And we can't talk about the game's environment without first talking about that opening shot you see of the asylum itself. After gathering your information, placing batteries in your camera, and exiting your vehicle, you get this really well done wide shot of the front of the asylum, almost being able to fool you into thinking it's a mansion to which the likes of Bruce Wayne would live in on holiday, having Alfred greeting you at the front door. And that in and of itself is the illusion the game sets for you. It gives you a feeling of safety before you even begin your descent through this mad hell.
Until I finish, but I say.
Outlast takes your run-of-the-mill, you are trapped in an insane asylum and must escape cliche and bumps it to, holy shit, what the f am I doing here? When the hell can I leave? By giving you a front row seat to a well-crafted and well-told horror story that puts you, the player, in charge of Miles Upshur, an investigative reporter who quite literally finds himself trying to escape a subtle but overwhelmingly terrifying recreation of hell on Earth. all while trying to expose a shady company for doing more than unethical things to the inmates of a mental insane asylum called Mount Massive. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. During your time with the game, you'll uncover little bits of lore here and there, hidden through confidential documentation you can pick up all over the game, even going so far as to give you an entity known as Chris Walker, who not only stalks you through the entire game, but whose goal is to tear your head from your body. Yes, to tear your head from your body. But all that aside, all violent actions by Chris, he's shrouded in mystery through and through, and all you know about him is that he's there to kill you, and his name is Chris Walker. So, when you see him, stay back. He's a bit of a hugger. Finally, we can't talk about Outlast without talking about the Wall Rider, otherwise known to long-standing fans of the game as Billy. He is essentially the entity that all the inmates of Mount Massive praise as their version of God himself, casting out the non-believers and the occasional horrible boss here and there. But it's the intense situations and fast-paced sequences that you experience with our ghost pal Billy. The "oh no, where did he go" feeling lingers whenever he appears for a quick hello, only to disappear until a later time. All in all, the lore that surrounds this whole game and all the characters in it makes for quite a horrific adventure. And if you for some reason still haven't gotten a chance to play this magnificent game, or hate horror games in general and just do not want to try it whatsoever, I still personally highly recommend this one to you.
You made the right choice here, buddy. Hey, you're that bullshit priest's guy, aren't you? His witness or whatever. You must be exhausted.
This game has one of the great things about older horror films worked right into the gameplay as the worst time imaginable. Traeger. And to those of you who have no idea who I'm talking about, I really truly envy you, as Traeger is kind of your average everyday crazy undead doctor who likes to brutally mutate his patients until they are merely just husks of people without certain body parts.
I mean, you gotta hand it to Traeger. I mean, he does offer you a martini lunch and offers to take you out to the beautiful mountain air.
That is, of course, right before he takes a big pair of scissors out and lops off 2 of your fingers just to make you realize that this game is more than just some video game, but instead his world. And while you're in Traeger's world, he doesn't play around. He will hunt you down constantly without giving a second thought to reason, and if he catches a glimpse of you out of the corner of his eye, you better run as fast as you can. Looping through rooms and hallways almost like an overly cocky hall monitor on duty, Traeger is a force to be reckoned with, because when he finds you, he will kill you. This is the ultimate cat and mouse game, and you are certainly not the cat. Traeger even likes to make snobby remarks, saying things like "nobody likes a quitter" or "I'm not giving up on you." And to add to that, he can even be heard talking to himself while he's searching for you, which makes the atmosphere of the level even more terrifying. Traeger is a bit stab happy, so do your best to keep your distance from him. Now, after a bad run-in with Traeger, you'd think, okay, the game is gonna go a bit easier on me. And you would of course be wrong, because there is a point not too long after the encounter with Traeger where you, as a player, lose your video camera, as well as your ability to see in the dark. This was not okay the first time I played through the game, as my only sense of comfort was being able to activate night vision in the darker places of the game. Without that mechanic, you're practically blind and your surroundings aren't as clear as they were before. Anyway, once you finally get reacquainted with your trusty camera, you get chased. And not just chased, you're pursued by at least 6 inmates that come after you from all angles of the room you've just escaped from. Not to mention that the flip-out screen on the camcorder itself now has a crack in it and will sometimes glitch and distort the picture for a number of seconds while in use. Just be careful of this and try to remember your way out by retracing your steps or something. after about an hour or so later of meeting Chris Walker head on in 3 consecutive places, finding Father Martin burning himself alive, and receiving a key to get to the broken elevator outside, you were on your way to the end of the game now. The final few areas of the playthrough before you see the credits roll. But there's always a catch. At first, you enter this area with open arms, seeing as nothing is here to attack you, meaning you're safe from any and all threats for the remainder of the game. Again, you'd be very wrong, as Billy, aka the Wall Rider, is going to be in hot pursuit of you at almost any given moment of the rest of the game. It is in this final area that you find out that you must pull the plug on Billy, killing him and allowing all who are trapped within the asylum to escape unscathed. Billy is quick to attack within seconds of seeing you, or just whenever you seem to be going the right way. He tends to be quite a pain in the ass if you have no idea where it is that you're headed, but he is literally in his current state an immortal being, so good luck escaping that. As for the end of the game, if you know how it ends, that's awesome, but for those who haven't yet finished the game, I've spoiled enough, and I'm not going to tell them that wonderful little secret. But that was Outlast, everybody. Let me know down in the comments if you think I missed something, or what you think about Outlast as a whole.
Wow. Anyway guys, that's gonna have to do it for me today. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, why not hit that like button and subscribe for more amazing content like this. Surely does help me stay motivated, and it keeps you in the know as far as things that I post. Speaking of in the know, if you do want to know every time I post a video, why not ding and ring that notification bell, join the notification squad, and let me know what your favorite part of the video was down below. Also guys, before this video ends, I just want to let you know that right here, as you can see, there's a highlight reel. Woohoo! There's a highlight over on my Twitch of the last time I played Outlast for the insane mode playthrough thing where I was trying to platinum the game. It wasn't completely successful, but a lot of cool moments came out of it, so I made a funny highlights out of it on Twitch. You can go check it out right now, link is down in the description, and yeah. Thanks so much for watching. I've been TyGamer. You guys have been a wonderful audience. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye! Click the subscribe button. It's worth your time, I promise. No? Okay. Cool. I'm just gonna